Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to track your invoice payments, the amount that was received from the customer, how was it adjusted. The last receipt voucher will be displayed dynamically. 205, the amount that was received in that receipt voucher is 13,892. Now, how this amount was applied, you can see here. This is the applied amount, 502, 505, 506. This is fully paid, and this is partially paid. So you can track the invoices that has been fully paid or partially paid. Here, there's a manual search. As you search for the receipt voucher, it will be highlighted dynamically. If you make a mistake, the applied amount is 10,000. If you make a mistake, for example 5,001, those rows will be highlighted dynamically to show you that you have mistake in this receipt voucher. Here it will dynamically show you the opening balance, the paid amount for that opening balance, and the balance amount that has still to be received. So let's see how we can do it. So before proceeding into the lesson, let me remind you that the links to the previous lesson will be shared in the description. And to save some time, I've already formatted the sheet, and how to format the sheet we have learned in the previous lessons. In the previous lessons, I've made two entries for a customer, for Naeem, customer number 1. I've made two entries for him. Now I want to track how was this amount adjusted, 10,000, 7,180. And to do that, we'll do it in the receipt voucher. First of all, I will have to find the maximum, the last receipt voucher that was received. To do that, I'll use the max formula, equal to max, press tab. I'll go to the receipt vouchers. I'll select this receipt voucher numbers, and I'll select long range. So from here, I can get the last receipt voucher, 202. On the basis of this last receipt voucher, I'll track the customer ID, the name, address, and the amount that was paid in this receipt voucher. To do that, I'll use the VLOOKUP formula, equal to VLOOKUP, press tab, and the VLOOKUP value is in D4, comma. The table and array is the receipt voucher, in the receipt voucher. So I'll select all this range from here to the end. I'll select a long range, 999, comma, and the column and index. In the previous lesson, I've showed you how to create dynamic column and index. So I want is the customer ID, it is in E, and comma, I want the exact match, so I'll enter 0, press enter. This way I get the customer ID. Let me fix the ranges. Select the lookup value, press F4, and select table and array, press F4. And I don't want to lock the column and index, I want to update it automatically, press enter. And just drag the formula to the next cell. As I drag it, I get the name, and I want the address also. So I'll just copy this formula, Control C, press escape, type the and sign, double quote, slash, double quote, and paste the formula, Control V. Now instead of F, I want G here. Press enter. This way I get the name and the address automatically. Now I want to find the amount. I'll just paste the formula here, equal to, and update from F to N. In column N, there is the amount. Press enter. This way I get the amount for this receipt voucher. Now to calculate the applied amount, that I'll do with the sum if later on, but I want the pending amount. For example, if I have the applied amount is 5,000, then how much is pending? I'll just use the formula, equal to this amount minus the applied amount. Press enter. So the pending amount is 2,180. For the moment, I'll delete this 5,000. Here we will create a manual search. For example, I want to search for 201. So I want it to display it here. The detail of the receipt voucher 201, I want to display it here. So I'll use the if formula, if tab, this cell is not equal to blank, double quote, comma. Then it should return the value of this cell. Else it should continue the formula. Press enter. This way I get the detail of the receipt voucher 201. Now I want to apply this amount for each and every invoice. So this amount was paid against which invoice? To do that, I'll enter the receipt voucher number here, 201. As I enter the invoice, I want the date to be dynamically displayed. To do that, I'll use the VLOOKUP formula, equal to VLOOKUP, press tab, this value, lookup value, comma, and the table and array is in the receipt voucher. I'll select just these two columns. I'll select long range, 999, comma, and the column and index is just behind the buttons. In the previous lesson, I've showed you how to do it. I'll select column D, comma, and exact match 0. Press enter. This way I get the date here. I'll just drag the formula, fill the ranges, I get NA. To remove this NA, I'll use the if formula. If, press tab, this receipt voucher is equal to blank, then it should return a blank, else continue the formula, press enter. Let's fill the formula here. So I get the blank spaces automatically. Now as I enter the invoice number, so let me go to the sale invoices, and here I want to search for Naeem. He only has one invoice, that is 501. But suppose if there are a lot of invoices, how we can search for that? For that purpose, I'll apply a filter on the headings. I'll just select this, go to data, and click on the filter. This way I get the filter. So I want to search for Naeem. I'll just select from here the customer ID 1, because I have the number. If you don't know the customer ID, just select the name, and from here I'll just remove all of them. I'll just select Naeem, for example. So I get that he also has only one invoice, that is 501. This way you can use the filter on your database. Suppose if I want to filter the data for all the salesmen. For example, this Abdullah, how much sale he has made. I want to filter just his data. Just select Abdullah from the salesman and it will show you all the sale that has been made by Abdullah. If you want to search for the sale made by Zahid, just select his name. This way you can filter the data that you want. Let me clear the filter from here. Just click on clear filter and the filters will be cleared. Now I know that the sales for Naeem is only 501. So as I go to the receipt voucher details, I enter here 501. I want the details to appear here dynamically. His name and address, the balance of that invoice, and the invoice status. So to do that, I'll use index and match formula is equal to, I'll just first match the invoice number, match lookup value is this invoice number, comma, and the lookup array is in sale invoice, that is this invoice numbers. I'll select a long range 999, comma, match I want is exact match 0, press enter. So I get row number 1. Now I'll wrap this in the index formula, index, press tab. The array is sale invoice. I want the name from here. I'll select this and select a long range 999, comma, and just press enter. This way I get name of the person. Let me lock the ranges here in the array. I'll press F4 to lock the arrays. Here in the lookup value, I just want to fix the column. I'll just press F4 so I get $sign before E, and the lookup array I want to lock it. Press F4, press enter. Now I want the address. To get the address, I'll just copy this formula, Control C, press escape, and I'll join it and double quote slash double quote and press Control V. I'll just update these references to G. Press enter. Yes, this way I get the name and the address for the customer. Now I want the balance, and to get the balance I'll just paste the same formula, Control V, press enter, and let's see where is the balance. Sale invoice, the balance amount is in column O. So I'll just update the reference, go to receipt voucher details, and I'll just update this from F to O. Press enter. This way I get the balance. Now I want the status also. I'll paste the same formula, Control V, press enter, and let's check the status. That the status is in column P. I'll just update this reference to P. This way I get the status also. So what if this customer has, because this balance is 12,180, but what if this customer also has an opening balance? So I must know the opening balance of the customer that is displayed here, and to do that I'll use the same index and match formula. As the customer balance is in the customer list, so I'll find the match for the customer ID equal to match, press tab, and this value customer ID, comma, and the lookup array is in the customer list. So this is the customer ID. Here I want to find the match for the customer ID. I'll select a long range 999, comma, and I want exact match 0. Press enter. This way I get the match for the customer ID. I'll not just use the index now. Index, press tab. The array is in the customer list, and here is the opening balance. This column, I'll select this column, I'll select long range 999, comma, and just press enter. This way I get the opening balance, that is 5,000. If he pays some amount, I'll use the sum if for that for later on. So he pays 5,000 from this opening balance, then the remaining should be equal to 5,000 minus this amount. Press enter. At the moment I'll delete this 5,000. So now I know that he has a balance of 5,000 opening balance, and this 12,000 is the invoice balance for 501. What if we want to pay 5,000 for the opening balance and he want to adjust the rest of the 5,000 in this invoice? To do that, I'll just type here, instead of invoice, I will type here opening balance here, OP. Just a short form OP. It returns an NA because opening balance is not available in the sale invoice. You see here, there's no opening balance. It will return an NA. So to find the address of this customer, I'll use an helper column here. So suppose if I type here 2, I want the name and address of this customer here. So this already I've entered in a formula. I can not always make changes to it. So it will be a complicated nested formula. So I'll build it step by step. First, I'll find the name and address here. I'll just copy this formula because this is also from the same customer list. Control C, press escape. I'll paste it here, Control V, and press enter. And I'll fix the ranges. Reference I'll fix F4, and I'll fix the lookup value should be now this one. I'll just drag this to, and I'll lock the lookup array here also. Press F4, and I'll just update the references. Column D in the customer list has the name. Press enter. This way I get the name for 2 each side. Now I want the city and the district. I'll just copy this formula, Control C, press escape, and I'll join it and double quote forward slash double quote and paste the formula. Control V. I'll update the references from D to G. I get the city. I'll just use and double quote comma space and double quote and paste the formula. Now instead of it's a long formula, so let me drag it here. So I'll change from D to H. Just change the references of the column. Press enter. I get the address also. This way I've got the address of it, but if it is blank, I want to return it blank. So I'll just use the if formula. If press tab, this customer ID is equal to blank, then it should return blank, else it should continue the formula. Press enter. I'll do the same here also. If the cell is blank, it should return if tab this cell is equal to blank, then it should return blank, else it should continue the formula. Press enter, and I'll copy this if function from here and paste it with the rest of them. Control C, press escape. Here also I'll paste the same formula. Control V, comma, press enter. And here also I'll paste the same formula. Control V, comma, press enter. So as this goes to blank, it will return a blank space. Now I have the opening balance here. I'll just write the opening balance here. Now to return, if I tap opening balance here, I want to return this address. If it is a number, I want to return the sale invoice number. To do that, I have to first find whether it's a number or it is a text. To do that, I'll use the function that is called isNumber, equal to isNumber, press tab, this cell, just press enter. It returns false because this is not a number. I'm going to use this function also in this formula. I just wanted to show you how isNumber works. I'll delete it. Here I'll type another if press tab isNumber, press tab this cell, close the brackets, then it should follow the formula. If it is a number, it returns true, it should follow this formula. Else, if it is false, then it should return this value. Just press enter. Now you see it returns this value. As I type 501, it will return name of this customer that is in 501. But to join the formula, I'll just copy the formula from here. Control C, press escape, click on this cell. Instead of K here, when the value is false, select that, press Control V and press enter. See, now I'll delete this from here. As I type here opening balance, press enter. It will return the same name that I have entered here. So you can see we have created such a complicated formula, a lot of ifs, if, match, isNumber, so much, but it is built step by step, so it was very easy to build it. So always build your complicated formula step by step. Here you see it returns NA. So instead of if blank, I'll use the isNumber function. That's more appropriate. If isNumber, press tab this cell, then it should return the formula. And if it is false, just remove this. And if it is false, it should return blank spaces. Just press enter. The same thing I'll do with this. I'll remove the spaces from here. Type isNumber, press tab this value, close the bracket, and it should return the formula. Else it should return blank, comma, double quote. So this way to return blank for it. Let's enter the payment now. Now you can see here 2001, the amount that was paid is 10,000. I have 5,000 is the opening balance. I'll just enter here 5,000. That is for the opening balance. Is another invoice is 501. I enter the same because 5,000 is pending. 201, the same receipt voucher, and invoice 501. I haven't filled the formulas. Here I get the NA because I have not locked this references. So I'll just lock the references, press F4 to lock the column twice, C, the $ before C, and I'll lock this also. And I'll lock the table and array F4. That's just the column only. Press enter. Now let's fill the formula here. See, I get the date here. 501, I haven't filled this formula, so I'll just double click the formula. I get the name and address. Fill this formula also. I get the amount here, 12,000. Now he is going to pay 5,000 in this invoice. Press enter. I get the balance. I haven't filled this. Let's fill this formula also. I get the status also. It is partially paid. Let's change this customer ID to 1 because this is the payment of name. I'll press 1. So I get name, the same name. Here I want to find the applied amount. I'll use the sum if formula is equal to sum if, press tab. This is my range. Receipt voucher number. This is the range, comma. I'll select long range 999, comma. And the criteria is this number, the receipt voucher number, comma. And the sum range is this amount that has been paid. I'll select a round range 999. Press enter. So this way I get 10,000. The applied amount is 10,000. To find this paid amount of the opening balance, I will use the sum if s because I have two criteria. One, it should be opening balance. and the second the customer ID that is displayed here. So I'll have to use sum if s. I'll use equal to sum if s, press tab. Now the sum range is this pair amount. I'll select a long range 999 comma. Then it asks me the criteria range. The criteria range is this customer ID here. From here it will select. Because I'm going to enter for the opening balance, I'm going to enter the criteria, the customer ID manually. So I'll select a long range here also, comma, 999, comma. Then it's asked me the criteria. So this is the criteria that is displayed here, the customer ID, comma. And the second criteria is it should be opening balance. So the second criteria range is here in the opening balance. I'll select same long range 999 comma, and it asks me from the second criteria. The second criteria I'll type manually, double quote as it is a text, so I'll type it in double quote OPBAL, opening balance, and just press enter. I get 5,000. As I change this criteria, this number to 2, it will disappear. So this way you can use sum if s for those sum which has more than one criteria. Let's research the formula bar from here. So suppose if I make a mistake, I type 5001. So I have made a mistake. The total payment was 10,000. I have the amount that I received was 10,001. So I want this automatically to be highlighted. And to get it highlighted, I cannot use a conditional formatting on the basis of these values because they will change dynamically. As I search for another one, ideally suppose this, it will go to 202. So I want this to be highlighted automatically. And to get it highlighted, I'll use a helper column here. I'll show you also how to use index or match or the VLOOKUP in calculation. I've already calculated here. You can see let me go back to 201. See, here I have the 10,000. I've already found the amount with the help of VLOOKUP. So I'll just copy this formula from here, Control C, press escape, and I'll just copy it here, Control V, to get the total paid amount. Enter. I'll just change the references only. So I'll just drag this from here, this receipt voucher, and I'll just remove the dollar sign from the row, and I'll lock the references here also by pressing F4. Press enter. So I get 10,000. Let me fill this formula up to here. You see, here also I get 10,000. I will sum this amount, the paid amount. As I sum the paid amount, then I'll subtract it. So I'll use just the sum here in a separate column, equal to sum if. I'll use the sum if function, press tab. This is the range, select a long range 999, comma, and the criteria is receipt voucher number, comma, and the sum range is this amount. I'll select the same long range 999, press enter. So I get here 10,001. Let me lock the ranges, press F4, and here I'll just press F4 twice just to lock the column, and the sum range I'll press F4 to lock it, press enter. I'll use this sum if function. I'll copy this function from a Control C, press escape. I'll just subtract it, minus Control V, paste it here, press enter. You see I get -1. Let me delete this. Let me fill this long range to here, Control D. Now I'll use this column to highlight the cells. How I'll do it? I'll just select this range all the way through 77. Go to conditional formatting, new rules, using a formula, equal to, if this cell, I'll just remove the dollar sign from the row, is less than 0. Then format the cell. I want to font to be white. Fill color should be red. Click OK. OK. Now it's highlighted automatically. As I change it to 5,000, this way I can easily find the mistakes in my entries. The next conditional format I want is to highlight. Let me make another entry also. Let me remove this one because Naeem has made another payment. You can see here he has paid me another check of 7,180. So let me make entry for that also, 202. Go to here, receipt process, just enter here 202, press tab, and it is against 501, the same invoice. This is the balance. I'll just type 17180, press tab. If I search for 201, I want this search to be highlighted here completely. So easily I can see that these are my entries. I have to conditionally format to highlight the search. But here I have two criteria. First is this cell should not be blank. So I'll use the AND function, equal to, and press tab. This cell, press F4 to lock it, should not be equal to blank. Should not be equal to double quote, double comma. This is one logical test. And the second test is this cell, press F4 to lock it, should be equal to this cell. Just lock the column here by pressing F4 3 times. I lock the column. Now just press enter. it gets true. Now I'll copy this formula from here, Control C, press escape. I'll select this range. Go to conditional formatting, new rules, using a formula, Control V. Click OK. Format, so I want the font to be white and the fill color should be dark blue. Click OK, OK, click apply. They are highlighted. One thing is very important to remember: if you have more than one conditional format in an area, and so you must highlight which is your priority. For example, let me show you. I select this range and go to conditional formatting, manage the rules. You see I have applied two conditional formatting here. One is for the search, one is for the error. Let me show you what is the meaning of the priority. Suppose if I make a mistake here, 5001, this is not highlighted in red color. Why? Because the priority first is this one. So let me select this range again. I'll just change the sequence of the conditional formatting, manage the rules. I'll move this one to the top because I want this. The error is the most important, not the search. So I'll just move this, change the sequence, apply, click OK. Now you see automatically this conditional formatting will be given the priority. As I change this 500 and the conditional formatting is removed. Let me clear the search from here. And why is this receipt voucher detail important? Because you can track each invoices, how the payment was made. For example, this 501, this invoice, the payment was made through two receipt vouchers, 201 and 202. Once he paid cash, the second time he paid a check. And on the basis of this payment, your sale invoice is updated. The status of the sale invoice and the payment is updated. So you can track your each and every invoice. It is fully paid and the amount is here, automatically sum if from the receipt voucher details. And so this is very important to track your each and every invoice and to type the details of the receipt voucher. Now the receipt voucher and receipt voucher details are completed. The next step is how to print the receipt voucher so that you can dynamically print each and every receipt voucher that we want for the customer. So in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to print the receipt voucher. Hope you like the videos, and don't forget to share, subscribe and press the bell icon to get notified for the new videos. Thanks for watching.